Well, good day, everybody. It is Monday, July the 22nd in 2024. If you're on the East Coast, good afternoon to you at approximately 2 p.m. If you're on the Pacific Coast, it's still late morning for you. So good morning to you, but good day to everybody that's joining us here for this special webinar that we're having here. It's one of the first ones we've had in a while. Been a little bit of time, but we're going to give everybody just a couple of minutes to circle in and join us, so everybody gets to hear the entirety of the webinar for this Modco Louver and Slatwall addition to our Modco line. Also, as a part of today's webinar, we will be introducing some outside sales management changes we have made at WS Display that will enhance our outside reach with our clients, especially our custom clients that help us out with purchases of a custom nature, but also will be liaisons to all of our clients for all products that are purchased through WS Display. Before we get started, and while we're still waiting for folks, let's go over just a couple of housekeeping notes. As always, in our webinars, we do have a Q&A button that you will see at either the top or bottom of your screen, and you can click that Q&A button anytime that you would like to submit a question about maybe something that I present or another question about the product we're talking about. Feel free to do that. We have that Q&A monitored at our corporate office, and we will answer those. Some will be answered and then archived, and then some we will actually read during the webinar to reveal to the entire viewership. So Q&A is question and answer there on your screen that you can click that at any time that you have a question viable to the content that we're speaking with. We're about maybe 30 seconds away from getting started. So once again, we appreciate you joining us here on a Monday, July 22nd, for this webinar for Modco Louvers and Slatwalls, the new addition to that product line, as well as an introduction to our latest regional sales managers who have joined us here at WS Display. So 15 more seconds, we'll get started. All right, everybody, welcome to the WS Display webinar on Modco Louvers and Slatwalls, and also the latest changes that we have made within our sales organization here at WS. To start things off, I will mention that it was 5 years ago, almost to the day actually, that we did our webinar for the introduction of Modco to the WS Display line of products for our custom side, our aluminum extrusion side and silicone edge graphic perspective product. And that product really did very well out of the gate. Now, to be honest with you, as everybody remembers, that was 2019. And then 2020 happened, and all the rules changed within our industry as well as displays in general. So everybody remembers, we don't have to go rehash that. But what we did come back with very quickly, seemingly, when shows started coming back, we had a lot of interest with the Modco product line. And it has developed into one of our leading, if not the leading, custom component and product line that we sell at WS Display. So today we're going to talk about some new additions to this line, which makes it quite unique, actually. And the topic is louvers and slat walls. So this is an introduction, as you see there, to our Modco louver and a slat wall accessory line. We're now offering the louver panels, louver doors, that's very interesting, and slat wall options to our Modco configurations, as well as custom offerings. All accessories are available to purchase a la carte and are included in some of the new configurations featured on our website as of today. So let's talk a little bit about louvers first. Everyone knows what a louver is. It's that slanted slat that runs across a frame that gives you a very nice aesthetic look. I'll go ahead and address this point early before we get into the specs of this product. I asked this early on of my staff, I guess once we heard that this product was coming out, and I specifically asked, is there a functional aspect to these louver panels that we're putting on Modco frames, or they are Modco frames with louver aspects to them? And the answer, of course, is pretty much what was expected. And no, it's really an aesthetic look that you're getting with the louvers. If you like the louver look, then this is a great addition for your clients on the Modco line. They're constructed of heavy-duty steel framing with aluminum louvers that run across. They're available in two popular frame sizes. The two popular frame sizes we sell most within our line of Modco is the 992 by 2418 standard size, as well as the 992 by 992. These sizes are fixed. They cannot be customized. We do have them in standard black finish, metal finish, and in classic wood, which you'll see in just a second. They can be connected in line, frame to frame, and also at 90-degree angles with the use of special Modco louver connectors. You'll see those in just a minute as well. You can connect louver to louver as well as louver to Modco frames, as you see here in this configuration example on the screen. And then there's more information on those connectors coming up in just a couple of more slides. It is a tool-free installation, which is always good to know. There is no possibility of skinning louvers with SEG or even rigid panel graphics, because there's just really no way to connect over the top of it. Plus, you would be taking away from that aesthetic look. Included in the new standard configurations on the website, yes, you can see these configurations, and they will show you these louvers attached already and specified in the design. And a shelving option will be available soon with that, with the louvers. It just has not come out quite yet. This will entail LTL shipping. It will be required due to the size of that panel. Now here's just a look here as I hover with my arrow. This is the classic wood look. This would be your 992 by 2418 on the left, your meter by meter frame on the right of that. And as you can tell, I mean, it looks just like a almost plywood look, maybe an MDF look, but it is a wood substrate, as opposed to black aluminum over here on this side with the same size as 2418 and 992. And those are your specs there, your weights. Approximately 70 pounds on the large frame, a little under 50 pounds on the 1 meter by 1 meter. They're not light, thus the size and the weight would entail LTL shipping as opposed to a UPS option. One of the coolest things is this new Modco louver door, available within our configurations or custom. It's constructed of heavy-duty steel framing with the aluminum louver. So steel around the side, around the perimeter, and then aluminum in the middle for your louvers. The louver door is only available in the 992 by 2418 size. So if you have the 2480, that door will not work. It needs to be 2418. Black finish only. Also, it can be connected in line and at 90-degree angles, just like the other louvers, with the use of the Modco louver connectors. Included is the new, it is included in the new standard configurations on our website, and it can be added to any existing configuration on our website, as well as full custom configurations. So what does that mean? If you want to use a door within your Modco frame, we have the one that is available with the SEG in the middle of the door. And then of course you have the Centra style framing that the panel rather goes all the way around the outside of the threshold of the door. Or you could use this solution as a louver door in your custom as well as package configurations for Modco. You cannot skin the louvers with SEG or rigid panels, as we mentioned before. Also, it is a tools-free installation, just like the other louvers you saw just a few minutes ago. And once again, it does require LTL shipping rather, due to the size and scope. Now let's talk about your louver connectors for just a moment. if you zoom in close there, you can see that there are nubs, the position pin male nubs that are on one side of this 180-degree connector, where your Modco frame will sit on top of these with the holes, and then you use a position pin to tighten them and lock them into place. The other two standard holes will go with the louvers, and you'll see how that connects with a bolt and a wing nut here in just a moment, as you have two of those per connection on the louver side of the 180D connector. Or, as we mentioned earlier, you can go louver to louver. So you have a louver on this side and a louver on the top side, and you would use the connections we'll show you in just a minute. That's on the 180-degree side. Of course, if we move to the 90-degree side, you see a louver to louver 90-degree corner connection here with the two holes and two holes here that you're able to use louver to louver 90 degrees. And then, of course, louver to Modco frame. And we give you all of the accessories that will allow you to connect all of these in those different configurations. So here's a close-up, and this is actually a configuration, pre-packaged, pre-designed configuration that has SEG on this frame where my arrow's hovering. The second frame has a SEG graphic, so these two have graphics, and then you have shelving on here and here as far as the design goes for any products you'd like to put there. One on the front of this 90-degree turn rather, and then the louver is here. And if we close up show you how this works, you've got two places where the on the 180, excuse me, that's a 90-degree connection. It has the Modco male coming up through the existing Modco frame, a position pin that screws down and connects that, and then you see the bolts that are coming through those standard holes in the louvers, and then wing nuts tightened down so that it's very easy to make that connection. And you would just do the same thing vice versa on this side closest to the counter here. You just do that in reverse, where you've got the Modco frame that goes over the connector and then the wing nuts that make that happen. And then this is an example of a Modco frame going on this side, on the left side of the 180-degree connector, then your bolts and your wing nuts tightening down so that you can connect those together. So let's jump over to slat walls, probably one of the most asked for accessories on the custom market these days. There's a lot of, especially on the retail side, POP side, anytime that your client wants to exhibit swag or hats or shirts or whatever the product is on slat wall, we get a lot of questions about that. And so for our Modco side, we are now offering laminated plywood slat wall options. The slat walls install on the front side of the Modco frames with screws. We'll talk about that in just a second. Slat walls are pre-installed onto their respective Modco frames prior to shipping. So you don't have to worry about that. We will go ahead and install the slat wall on the frame and send it as one piece if it's involved in a configuration or even in a custom application. Two sizes of the slat wall are available. The sizing below relates to the frame size the slat walls install onto. So your Modco frames are 992 by 1984 or 992 by 2418. It is fixed and it cannot be customized with these specific slat wall panels. Slat walls are only available with a white background. So there's no black, there's no brown, there's no other different offset color. They are white in color, and they are only for the front side of the frame by default. However, they can be added to the back side as well. I know in POP applications or in retail, you might have a standalone frame where you want to put products on both sides. You can do that with this product. It accepts standard slat wall accessories. The channels are spaced 3.5 inches apart on center. Important when assessing various types of accessories to use for the slat wall. We are offering some, we don't offer them all. So some customers may have their own accessories and will need to know that spacing. SEG or rigid panel graphics can be installed on the back side of the display if no slat wall is installed. So in other words, you can have a front slat wall or one side slat wall and an SEG graphic on the opposing side where you don't have slat walls. So that is pretty a good feature. There's sometimes you want to utilize graphics on one side to do a branding statement, and then on the other side actually use for POP or swag or other types of products, as I mentioned earlier. And this is an example or a picture of how they are attached. There's basically a self-tapping hole that will be drilled into the frame, and then a bolt will come with this to attach the slat wall to the frame itself. And then there's actually, as you see over here to the right, there is a screw head cover that will cover the holes to try to make them as aesthetic as possible. So it is possible to attach these mechanically to the Modco frame. It's not Velcro or some other way to be unstable. It is a mechanical connection, which is good when it comes especially to load of product that you're putting on the product. So let's talk just for a second about these pre-designed configurations that we've come up with. I've jokingly called these butt packages for years. And if you know me personally, you know why I call them that. I like this, but I need this, 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 this. I need AV over here, I need shelving over here, but you got to start somewhere. So what we did was design some basic, in this case, the Modco 23 configuration is a 20 by 10, 20 foot wide, 10 foot deep standard trade show line application where we're showing the 992 by 2418 black louvers. They're here on one side of the return as stability on that end. And then we have a bridge that's running out to the aisle, in this case, that you see here and here. And that gives you a see-through effect, which is pretty cool. As the attendees walk by, they can see a different dimension of the graphic on the back wall. So it has the counter and the archway all included in that configuration. Here's another example of it with a knee wall, 2 counters, the louver door here on a storage area. Those are very popular, by the way. You'll see them in dressing room applications, other areas of displays. You have a return of louvers on a 90-degree on the corner, and behind that, I think this picture in the lower left corner is the only one that actually shows the slat wall that is included in this setup. So the 20 by 10 for a different type of design also has shelving here above the 2 locking counters. These are new Modco counters for use as well that we're selling with the Modco line. So that's a very attractive package. Back to a 10 by 10. This space has a bridge with the louvers that also extends out to the aisle area, a very wide 10 foot across and 2418 tall back wall, and then a counter on the front. Just your basic inline configuration. Here's one with a little bit of character with it, with that shot we showed earlier, louver in the middle with a 90-degree from the back wall as well back to the aisle, and a counter as part of that one. So you do have some configurations already done on the website to give you a start. As always with Modco, we always offer custom. So if you have a client who is looking for a price aggressive solution with a frames with holes application in the field, we can assist with that. Just hit us up as far as projects that we can help with those additions to our Modco line. Let me talk a little bit finally about some changes that we've made just recently as effective July 1st here at WS Display. In our outside sales world, it's been basically me who's been out calling on the custom exhibits, houses, as well as retail clients and other clients within our organizations and our industries of trade show, experiential, retail, and so forth, and live events. So we've made that change to add regional sales managers to our team, and really happy to introduce them to and as you can see there, I've got a map that we have orchestrated that makes it a lot easier to determine who your regional sales manager is. Failed to mention now, I am the VP of sales and was formerly the national sales director. So this will be my team moving forward. And these people will be liaisons. This group of guys will be liaisons to all of our clients in the field. Rick Marino is our Western Regional Sales Manager. Many here know Rick as the Supervisor of Business Development for the past many years. He's got a total of 13 years with WS Display, so it's really nice that we're able to add to this outside team from within. So I've worked with Rick ever since I've been with WS the last 9 years, and I've enjoyed that thoroughly. So we're really looking forward for our West Coast clients to work hand in hand with Rick. As you see, his email address there is rick@wsdisplay.com, and he is the guy you would reach out to for anything that involves WS that he will be a liaison for and assist in any way. If he doesn't have the answer, he will make sure that you get the answer and in touch with the right personnel to assist with any issues. On the upper Northeast Midwest side of the United States, we have added Roger Freeman. Roger comes to WS with an extensive association background, as well as some general management side and some industry related activities over the past years. He is based out of Falls Church, Virginia. So that would be, as many of you know, the DC area in the lower north, the mid-Atlantic, if you will. I guess you consider the lower side of the Northeast and Midwest side. But he will be handling all those states that are green there in your map side. So Roger has joined us. And then, of course, the blue area is a gentleman by the name of Vince Vaughn. Vince is here with me in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And he will be handling the southeastern states that you see there in blue. And all these guys we're really excited to have on our staff. And it'll just help us get more legs in the field and help effectively cover the United States and the territories. They do branch outside of the United States into Canada as well as Mexico and the Caribbean. But basically, if you have any questions at all in any aspect that there's a concern for the regions or any question that you want to come directly to me for, I'm always open. Any questions about Modco accessories or would like custom quotes of any kind, you can reach out to me at mike@wsdisplay.com. And I can answer and help and assist in any way possible.